Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Saturday shout out in the Thrive Tribe. Check out my new fancy mic. Isn't that impressive? Don't you feel super official, Sarah? Like you're on a really,
Very
really
official.
real
I
show?
feel like I should be very nervous.
You don't need to be nervous. Today, I'm very excited to have my friend Sarah Bice, all the way from Franklin, Tennessee, on our show. And Sarah, why don't you just tell the Thrive Tribe a little about yourself?
Like she said, my name is Sarah and I am in Franklin, Tennessee. I was born and raised, went off to college, came back, and now I'm a third grade teacher here in Franklin. And enjoying that. I'm going into my third year, so still new at the whole thing. Loving it. I also am obsessed with my dog, and I know Joelle can relate because she loves her dog. So I enjoy, hanging out with my dog and, my friends and family and just, traveling and going outdoors, but enjoying my summer right now.
Nice, nice. What do you think, since you've been a teacher for 3 years, what are the biggest challenges um, for you personally as a teacher, do you think?
Um, I think my biggest challenge is kind of realizing that there is so much back stuff into teaching. Like, there's so many things that we have to do that don't even relate to physics, like, us literally teaching the kids. Like, coming in, going to college, and like, yes, I'm gonna like teach these kids and make an impact, and it's just gonna be solely me teaching these kids. And coming in, there's just so many different things that kind of just like are thrown at you that it's very overwhelming that we have all these things, and I feel like sometimes it takes away from teaching the kids themselves. I feel like that's kind of a big challenge, and just also like balancing my life. As a new teacher, I kind of want to give everything I have, and realize that next year balancing more of just my life and school and kind of, trying to separate them so that my whole life is revolving around school.
Nice. What would you say is the most rewarding part about being a teacher?
I think the most rewarding is just, making connections with kids and seeing that their growth throughout the year and having them, come up to me and like, give me hugs and give me and say like, Spice, you were my favorite teacher. And like, you did so much for me. And like, even like, I love you and all those things. It's just like, I can tell that I actually like touched their lives and I actually made a difference. And I think that's the biggest thing is making those connections with the kids, even more than just teaching them academics.
And how have you, what strategies do you use to make connections with the kids?
One of my biggest ways, and going through trainings with you, is doing morning meetings, and and like you talked about, it's just kind of a process. Like it's not just like, oh, it worked the first time, or it kind of it's a challenge in itself of how to structure morning meeting, but having that morning, every morning, just talking with those kids, greeting them, talking about good news and bad news and what's going on in their lives, because it shows that I care and that others care in the class. So it's building community within the class, but showing them that, I care about them. And even I share stories, especially after doing like a read aloud when it's, ties into social emotional learning. And it's, I share my feelings or I share my experiences and they're like, oh, wow, my teacher is human. And like, relate on that kind of level.
You're human. Does that mean you go to the grocery store too?
I do. It's so funny seeing kids like out in public. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Miss Bice."
You're like, you shop? I just thought something
Yeah.
magically appeared. Um,
Yes.
what do you do to help your own well-being, to kind of keep that positive, perky spirit? What's your go-to strategies for well-being?
Yeah. Definitely, after days of just, hard days at school and exhausting, it's kind of, you start feeling like bogged down of all the stuff that's like, in education and how like, am I really making a difference? And I just have to step back and I, think about those moments of like actually connecting with kids and actually realizing that I am making a difference. And one of my favorite things was just to come home and like be by myself or be with my dog, of course. And of course, and relax and just take time for myself. Like sometimes I'm so exhausted where I don't want to talk to anyone. And it's just like, I just need my time to just be at peace and like reflect on my day and reflect that, life is so much more than what happened today. And, it's like we all have bad days that, there's always good to come.
I love that. I love what you just said, just about, I don't know, that just really struck me. The other thing is when you mentioned being reflective, I just started I saw this quote somewhere and I keep saying it over and over that in order to be more effective, you need to be more reflective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah,
I like that.
absolutely super important. Okay, so I am going to ask you a few random questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Now, I wanted to ask you one more question because it's something that you had mentioned to me before about purpose. So I'm going to be launching a new retreat kind of intensive session called Live in Purpose and on Purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And you had been telling me before that you were just reflecting on your purpose recently and came up with a few words. What can you just tell the Thrive Tribe about that?
Yeah. So I got the idea of in our last training for the 2.0, where you had to come up with 5 words that described yourself. And I remember after that, like I actually did come up with 5 words, but I didn't write them down. So of course I forgot them. And so I just kind of always kept coming back to that because it hit me like, what words, if I could just pick a couple words, what would describe me? And so I thought, and I came up with 4. So I guess I could word it so that I come up with 5. But I came up with encouraging others with positivity because I just feel like, positivity is like an energy and it's very, it just like flows. I just feel like it flows out of me and I want it to flow out of me because I want it to affect others. If you're positive, then you're going to, help others become positive and they're going to, it's just, you can connect with others. And I love encouraging others, to be their best and to kind of, because everyone wants a little cheerleader. And I love being that. Like, it's a passion. I like get the thrill of being encouraging to others. So those are my 4 words.
We need people on the planet like you.
Oh, yes.
I love that. Encouraging others with positivity. Those are your 4, right?
Yep, those are my 4.
Added a couple words, so mine's not 5 anymore. It's 7, but because I just wanted to be more specific. So it used to be influencing, inspiring, and igniting humans.
Yes.
Now it's influencing, inspiring, and igniting humans to thrive.
Ooh, I like that, to thrive.
Thrive in the Thrive Tribe. All right, so what I'm going to ask you is, what would you rather do?
Okay.
Blank or blank. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What would you rather do? Never sweat or get cold?
Oh my gosh, never sweat because I sweat all the time.
But Tennessee's pretty humid too, so in the
yes,
summer.
It is. So like if I could not sweat, I'd be in heaven. So yes.
Would you rather live in a cave or a tree house?
Ooh, tree house. That would be fun to be in the forest.
If you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, would you rather it be all spicy food or bland food?
I would have to go with bland because I'm not a spicy food person and I actually really do enjoy bland foods.
Nice. Would you rather wear one color or 7 colors all day? If you had only one choice. You could either wear just one color or 7 colors. What would you pick?
All day. I'd actually probably go with like one color. That's a tough one though. Just because I feel like 7's a lot of colors. But, some tops have like 5 colors and, on one top. Ooh, man, that's tough. I feel like my wardrobe is kind of plain. Like I could wear like blue jeans and a blue top and I'd be perfectly fine.
Oh, there you go. So maybe okay, so last question. I need you to just tilt your camera just a little bit. Sometimes there you go.
Oh yeah, there you go. Sorry.
So this is a really important question, but I don't want you to overthink it.
Okay.
So if you could teach the world just one thing, and the world is listening right now, what would you want to teach the world? What would you want them to learn from you?
I would say to be kind of going back to like what I'm passionate about, but just like being positive and treating others, kind of like the golden rule, like treating others as you would want to be treated, because that's kind of like how I live my life. Like I do things to like encourage and to help people because that's how I would feel. Like that's what I would want in life. And if we can live by like, who wants to be treated poorly? So if you live life by saying like, I would love to be treated this way and, be this way. And if you treat others like that and like being positive and being passionate about what encouraging others to be passionate, I think, our world would be a lot better place. So, being positive and just, being nice and kind to each other. All
And
about
support.
support.
It's,
Yes, support.
and it really is not that difficult to do. It's just a choice to do it. I
Yes.
have some dogs barking across. I don't know if you could hear them.
Oh, I can't hear them.
They're actually not my dogs. I have no dogs. Well, thank you so much for being here, Sarah. Thrive Tribe, if you see Sarah, she probably, in the fall will start posting pictures from her classroom, her amazing kids, and just give her a shout out, say hi to her, and let's connect. So thank you for being here, Sarah. It was great to see you again. I'll see you in September. And Thrive Tribe, just remember, if you would like to be featured, because we want to get to know everyone in the Thrive Tribe, just give me a little message or a little comment here and let's connect. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your Saturday. We will talk to you soon.
Bye.